guys, this is Andrea Schindel again, and tonight's topic for parenting in real life is going to be teenagers who don't take their medication and also teenagers who don't brush their teeth. So basically that boils down to accountability in parenting, which is really hard to do because it's all centered around boundaries. One of the primary things that teenagers are learning and in adolescence is how to set their own boundaries, which means parents also have to be able to set boundaries. This is really hard to do, especially when teenagers don't always care about the same things that we care about. So the first thing is more related to trauma, but not always, which is a teenager who refuses to take their medication. This is a pretty common thing, and as a licensed professional counselor here in Colorado, it's often a topic that we address in my office pretty frequently. When a teenager needs to take medication and then chooses not to, one of the main things that the parents will do is respond with anger, which is a natural response. Often, anger is the emotion that we feel as parents when we're afraid for our children. So it's a pretty reasonable response. And I tell teenagers in my office, hey, your parent is afraid for you, and you're making decisions that are disrespecting your body. And to take yourself off of medication without anybody's awareness is a pretty dangerous choice to make. It's also one that has a lot of consequences. So what I encourage parents to do is to also recognize that if you're going to tell your teenager anything regarding not taking their medication, one of the main points you want to make is that you're talking to them about this because you love them, not just because you're angry with them, and certainly not because you're controlling them. But of course, a teenager, their first go-to is, why are you trying to control me? When really what you're doing is trying to teach them self-respect. Feel free to show them this video because that's ultimately the issue, is are you going to respect yourself enough to take care of your body? And as a teenager, it's time to start practicing things that are going to lead you into smart adulthood. Taking medication and then going off of it without any warning, any step down process is going to wreak havoc on your body. So medication is really important. And communicating with your parents, teenagers, if you're going off of medication is really, really important. Also with your counselor. It's one of those safety concerns that we have to talk to your parents about. If you're a parent and you're concerned about your teenager taking their medication regularly and they're refusing, make a doctor appointment immediately. And be open with the doctor that you don't think your teenager is taking their medication regularly. This plays huge, huge consequences on their behavior, on their mood, on their physical health. So taking it serious is important. Second issue, teenagers brushing their teeth, gross. So my husband and I have spent nothing short of a small fortune on braces, and nothing can get us more angry than knowing that our kids won't even brush their own teeth. One of my favorite mentors used to tell my kids, hey, only brush the teeth you want to keep. And the reality is if you choose not to brush your teeth, you probably are going to have the consequence of it. If your teenager is flat out refusing, one of the natural consequences is asking them to help pay for the price of cavity fillings. If they're doing it because their genetics are just more prone to cavities, that's one thing. But just flat out refusing to brush your teeth, hey kid, chip in, it's not okay. So that's what I encourage parents to say is, hey, you're gonna help with this too, and let them feel the consequence of it. Also, don't sugarcoat it when you take them to the dentist. If the dentist is checking their teeth and recognizes that they're not brushing, say it in front of the dentist. Say it in front of the teenager. Hey, I noticed that you don't brush your teeth. Maybe you need to hear it straight out from the doctor that this is not healthy or safe. Let the doctor tell them, because here's the key. Teenagers, they need to hear things outside of their parents. That's why teachers and coaches and doctors and counselors and community members are so important to our teenagers' development. They need to know that what their parents are saying is accurate. And it's not because they don't care about what you're saying, although they certainly give the front that they don't care, but they do care. And surrounding your teenager with people that are trustworthy, like doctors and dentists and coaches and teachers, and being honest with those professionals about what's going on in your teenager's life is important. and it's a part of accountability, and that's hard. Sometimes I tell my teens, hey, I'm gonna out you, and it's because I care about you, not because I want to embarrass you. But be honest with these professionals. It's not the same thing as airing all of your teenagers' information on Facebook. Definitely don't do that. And by the way, I have all of my kids' permission to talk about this. So those are those two issues. Feel free to ask questions and leave comments, and definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel. Have a good night.